Hello, everyone. I am Dr.jennifer Berman. Welcome to today's important conversation. I want to begin with a simple but powerful question. Why is it that in our societies it is easier to talk about politics, food, money, or even strangers' personal lives? When it comes to sexual health, most people lower their voices, change the subject, or simply walk away. Sexual health become one of the most difficult topics to discuss openly, even though it affects every single one of us, no matter our age, gender, or background. The truth is that sexual health is not just about the physical side of sex. It is about our emotional well-being, ability to communicate in relationships, our respect for ourselves and others, and our safety in making choices. Unfortunately, because of centuries of stigma, cultural taboos, and silence, sexual health remains a misunderstood, mispresented, and often ignored subject. This silence is not harmless. In fact, it leads to misinformation, poor decisions, preventable health problems, broken relationships, and even shame that follows people for their entire lives. That is why today I want us to break these taboos, step into the light of awareness, start talking openly about sexual health. To understand why sexual health is treated as a taboo, let's go back to the roots. In many cultures, intimacy are seen only as private matters or even as something dirty that shouldn't be spoken about. Families avoid the subject. Schools skip it in their curriculum, and media often either hides it completely or portrays it in a way that is unrealistic and harmful. Young people grow up curious, but with no safe space to ask questions, so they turn to unreliable sources, peer pressure, or social media for answers. This creates myths like contraceptives are dangerous, only certain people get infections, or talking about sex encourages bad behavior. These myths spread like wildfire because nobody corrects them. The cycle of ignorance continues. But let's think for a moment, does silence really protect us? Or does it actually harm us? The evidence is clear. Silence does more damage than good. When people are too embarrassed to talk about sexual health, they avoid seeking medical help even when they suspect something is wrong. They fail to understand consent and communication, leading to unhealthy or unsafe relationships. Couples who cannot discuss their sexual needs often face frustration, distance, and even broken marriages. Teenagers who are not given accurate information are more likely to make risky choices, leading to unwanted pregnancies or infections. In short, the taboo itself becomes the problem. Now, let's talk about why breaking this silence is so important. Open conversations about sexual health empower us. They give us the knowledge to make informed choices. They reduce the risk of sexually transmitted infections by teaching us prevention and awareness. They improve mental health by removing shame and guilt. They build trust between partners because communication creates intimacy, not silence. They even strengthen communities because when sexual health is addressed openly, people are safer, healthier, and happier. Let me share some relatable examples. Imagine a young woman who notices unusual symptoms but feels too embarrassed to talk about them with her parents or even her doctor. Weeks turn into months, and what could have been a simple treatment becomes a serious condition. Think about a married couple who avoid discussing intimacy problems because they think it is too shameful. Over time, small frustrations grow into a wall of distance between them. These are not rare stories. They are the reality of millions of people worldwide. The solution is simple: talk openly, ask questions, seek knowledge, and remove shame from the conversation. Of course, whenever we talk about sexual health, myths come up. So let's bust a few right now. Common myth is that only young people need sexual health education. The truth is, sexual health is lifelong, from puberty to adulthood. Even into older age, our bodies, relationships, and needs change. Everyone benefits from awareness. Another myth is that discussing sexual health encourages immoral behavior. Research proves the opposite. People who are informed about sexual health actually make safer, smarter, and healthier choices. Another myth says that contraceptives are unsafe. In reality, modern contraceptives are well researched, safe, and one of the best tools to protect health and prevent unwanted pregnancies. And then there is the harmful belief that infections only happen to certain groups of people. The truth: infections do not discriminate. Anyone can be affected, and everyone should be informed about prevention and treatment. So, how do we actually start the conversation about sexual health? It may sound difficult, but it doesn't have to be. The key is respect, timing, and openness. If you are a parent, create a safe environment for your child to ask questions. If you are in a relationship, communicate with your partner without judgment or shame. If you are a teacher, doctor, or community leader, use simple, clear, and respectful language. Small, but start somewhere. Even asking questions like, "What do you know about this?" or "Do you feel safe?" can open doors to important discussions. Practical steps include choosing the right environment, like a calm and private setting where people feel comfortable. Use language that is easy to understand without scientific jargon unless it's necessary. And most importantly, listen without judgment. Often, people don't need lectures. They just need someone who will listen, answer honestly, and guide them toward reliable resources. Imagine a world where sexual health is discussed as openly as physical fitness or nutrition. Just like we talk about exercise, balanced diets, mental health, sexual health deserves the same respect, because at its core, sexual health is about respect, safety, and well-being. It is about ensuring that people can live free of shame, free of fear, and full of confidence in their bodies and relationships. We also need to think on a bigger scale. Schools should include age-appropriate sexual health education in their curriculum. Workplaces should create supportive environments where employees know they can seek help without stigma. Communities and media platforms should spread accurate, positive information instead of fear and myths. The more we normalize these discussions, healthier our societies will become. Let's also highlight the role of culture and technology. In many parts of the world, line spaces have become the first place people turn for information. While this can be helpful, it also means there is a flood of misinformation. That's why it's important for credible voices, doctors, educators, and creators to step in and share knowledge responsibly. Breaking taboos doesn't just mean talking more, it means talking wisely with facts, compassion, and understanding. Small steps can you take starting today? Share an educational video or article with a friend. Ask your partner an honest question you've been avoiding. Support sexual health awareness campaigns in your community. Encourage schools and leaders to prioritize education. And most importantly, challenge your own fears or discomfort about the topic. Because the change begins with each one of us. As we come to the conclusion of this narration, let's remember the key points. Sexual health is human health. Silence and taboos harm us. Open conversations heal us. Myths mislead us, but facts protect us. Respectful dialogue can change relationships, families, and communities. Breaking taboos is not just brave. It is necessary. It is empowering. It is life-saving. So I leave you with this final thought. If you care about your health, your relationships, your happiness, and your community, You must also care about sexual health. Do not wait for someone else to start the conversation. Be the one to ask, to listen, and to speak. Because when we talk openly, we not only break taboos, we also build a healthier, safer, and more compassionate world. Thank you for being part of this journey today. If this message resonates with you, share it with others. Start a conversation. Ask one brave question. And remember, breaking the silence is the first step toward breaking the cycle of fear, shame, and misinformation. Sexual health matters. It's time we all start talking about it.